Good evening. And unfortunately, I hate to say I told you so, the pump is off. Bitcoin pulling back again today. Let's get into exactly what's going on, exactly how we saw this coming, and exactly what I think is likely next. So, as you can see, currently trading at a price of $67,665. We pulled back from a local high of just about $70,000, pretty much on the nose after yesterday's pump, after yesterday's, we'll call it a miniature short squeeze. Okay, something like $500 million worth, about $500 million worth of short positions liquidated. Unfortunately, as we spoke about in yesterday's video, the pullback was likely, the pullback was inevitable perhaps, and the pullback did come. Not quite as dramatic as it could have been. We have seen over the last 24 hours about $200 million worth of long positions and $200 million worth of short positions liquidated. The meat of that was happening in the last 12 hours, and that is this disparity, $128 million long versus $68 million short. If you want to know why those two numbers are different, sorry, let me just scroll down there for you. So the last 12 hours, $128 million versus $68 million. That is longs liquidated versus shorts liquidated. Remember, when a long position is liquidated, it means the exchanges go out and sell Bitcoin. They sell what was essentially backing that leveraged long position that is sold onto the market, forced sold onto the market in a hurry as those positions are liquidated without human interference, right? It's happening automatically. It's just a dump of supply on the market, and supply and demand dynamics dictate that when that happens, prices must come down pretty rapidly. Over the last 24 hours, you're seeing even longs and shorts, because that is bleeding into the time frame in which this pump happened, where the opposite was happening. Shorts were being liquidated and the exchanges were buying Bitcoin on the open market to cover those shorts and to get those traders out. So we spoke about yesterday how this move was likely, okay, this down move we saw today was likely because of basically over optimism, too many people jumping in on the green candles, sheep mentality, too many people getting in long money that they didn't have, and then ultimately being squeezed and inevitably liquidated out of those positions afterwards. You also see the ETFs behaving like this. Once again, yesterday, 25th of February, was a $500 million net inflow day into the Bitcoin ETFs. The 24th was a bit of a black sheep. I spoke about this yesterday as well, right? $257 million net inflow, and that is on technically a down day, which is pretty interesting to see. And it is representative of potentially the beginnings of a shift, which I have begun noticing in the ETFs, which basically points towards institutions accumulating even in these lower prices, accumulating into the down days, starting to see the fact that Bitcoin is going on sale and wanting to get exposure to that even as the market comes down. Now, as I say, we're just seeing the beginnings of that. It's just my theory. I don't have a written up thesis on that to show you. However, that is what I'm starting to see in the data. What we were used to seeing was the ETF flows behaving exactly like the leverage market, i.e. when we go up on the daily, everyone jumps in long. When we go down on the daily, everyone gets short, just following the trend, being liquidated in the process. But starting to see green shoots of that shifting and mirroring more what we're seeing from big whale buyers on chain, like the accumulator addresses. Speak about this all the time, who have continued accumulating since we've been selling off. If we look at what the liquidation map is saying right now, predictably, yes, indeed, everyone has flipped short, even though we've been going down for a couple of hours. And what is that, about 5% at a guess? Yeah, there you go, 5.4% down on the day total to where we are right now. A bit less than that, about 3% down. We get the exact measure on that for you. There you go, 3.5% down to where we are right now. Yes, the liquidation map has flipped. Everyone has jumped in short on this. And once again, the daily time frame, there are more shorts in the market than there are longs. This mirrors the 30-day time horizon, where we see clearly a big disparity. Clearly, most of the market is shorts. 16 on the Fear and Greed Index. Like we said yesterday, again, expect that to come up because green candle's good. Everyone gets happy about that, even though it's clearly quite short-lived. And again, I would expect that to drop again tomorrow as things cool off, or representative or in reflection of the cooling off that we've seen now. A couple of fundamental items playing into where I see this going next. Look, I mean, it's totally possible. Okay, we're still in technically an uptrend, right? And we will be until we break this low here to the downside. Okay, downtrend characterized by high, low, lower high, lower low. You could argue that this high here was important, but then technically this is things are getting a bit messy, because you've got high here, low here, lower high here, higher high here, lower high here, lower low here. So there's two different perspectives you could look at this as, right? Either this is the significant high, which I think technically it is. We failed the break out of that, and now we're cooling off again. You could argue that a break of this high would be more significant to the structure, because it is a more structural high than this one, if that makes sense, to the downtrend, if we're sort of smoothing that out in that resolution. That's why this stuff, technicals, right? I wouldn't be making long-term big decisions based on technicals alone. However, from where we are right now, we're basically back consolidating and range bound. So next significant low, obviously turning around a little bit now, still looking out for this low to the downside. To the upside, if we were going to see continuation of this, I would be looking for a break of this new high here, a more convincing break now, put in at 70k, and then even more importantly, a break of this high here, which is pretty close, to be fair, about 71k. But honestly, I think more likely we continue to bleed down from here. Less likely that would be liquidation driven, because as we've spoken about, there's just not so much long leverage in the market right now. There's a fair bit still lying in, since still seeing the effect of that green candle and people jumping in leverage long. We could potentially come down and knock out more of those longs, but for the most part, that risk has subsided since yesterday's slip. Okay, but if we continue this little micro pump now, wouldn't be surprised if more people jumped in, and then that risk just increases. But you're looking at just about, look at that, $800 million worth of alongside liquidation risk down at 65k, which really isn't very far away at all. Couple of fundamental things coming out, right? A lot of people, I've seen this thrown around, speculating that this pump was driven by a sort of reverse FUD effect because of the uncovering of Jane Street, right? Look at this. Jane Street accused of insider trading that helped collapse Terraform. The court-appointed administrator of Do Kwon's Terraform Labs alleged that Jane Street used non-public information from Terraform insiders to trade. And what this is relating back to is, I'm going to show you a chart here. It's this 10 a.m. Bitcoin dump, right? Basically, the story goes, or the speculation goes, that Bitcoin regularly drops shortly after 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a window that overlaps with the start of US trading. On-chain analyst Nonzi posted an hourly Bitcoin chart on Wednesday and claimed Jane Street had been manipulating the market at that time for months. And now, this is apparently, so the speculations go, starting to unravel as Jane Street comes under scrutiny or gets sued for that, basically, right? Ironically enough, by the Do Kwon estate, okay, or by the Terraform Labs estate. And so the idea goes, okay, Jane Street gets sued for this, or Jane Street comes under speculation for this manipulation. They stop doing this manipulation, and now the markets can come up. And honestly, okay, as this article says, right? Headline: Analysts reject Jane Street 10 a.m. dump claims. This is rejecting claims of the 10 a.m. dump existing. I'm not sure if necessarily I would go that far, but I do think it's far-fetched to suggest that a big fund like Jane Street is publicly, viewably, observably manipulating markets and then just suddenly stops because they come under scrutiny. Don't think that is particularly likely. I don't think it's likely that was driving this pump, or that is going to actually turn the market around now, right? In terms of turning around the sell-off that we've been in since October. I think that is far-fetched to say the least. Maybe adding fuel to the hopium from this move up, potentially, but nonetheless, I don't think the effects of that are likely to be particularly far-reaching. Pretty interesting stuff to see, though, just taken as is for, at face value. But there we go. From here, okay, the market's flipped. Majority short again. Long term, I believe that short side interest in the market is there to be liquidated, and it's there to be proven wrong, and it's there The build up of that is bringing us closer to the point at which the most number of people are going to be wrong, the most pain is going to be brought about. But I don't think we're quite there yet. That being said, from here, I think most likely a continued sort of bleed of this move down as this continues to subside. However, to the upside, if we were going to see a continuation, this wouldn't be completely, bamboozled and completely, totally surprised if we came to actually start liquidating some of that short interest right now. But long term, I still don't think we've seen the end of this sell-off where we're going right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this type of situation. Okay, break highs, maybe come up a little bit from this, hang around for a bit, and then surprise everybody by coming back down again. Equally, wouldn't be terribly surprised if we continued bleeding down from right now. In either scenario, I don't see a short-term trade opportunity right now, so that's not something that I'm looking to do. This is just kind of messy. It's kind of range-bound, but while we're depressed, looking to continue accumulating long-term. If we start selling off more aggressively, then I'm looking to ramp that up. If we start buying up, not going to be panic buying in and deploying a load of capital into that. That situation would come in terms of me buying a lot more Bitcoin would come on a hard sell-off. If we're coming up, I'm still operating under the assumption that we're ultimately going to continue coming down before we continue going up. At least just looking at things the way I'm seeing it right now, that is what I think is the most likely outcome. But there we go. I hope you found something interesting in that. As always, not financial advice, just my opinion. Plenty more to come. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye.